platform out there, and I surely appreciate it. You know, it's hard being on your own and trying to get out there, so you've been a real asset to me, and I sure do appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. All right, we'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, it's Tara. I do the homework and give you the facts every morning starting at 6 on The Tara Show, only on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Let your fingers do the talking.
Text the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line at 800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, somebody asked me over on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, they said, Charlie, did I hear correctly? Is David Stumbo in the hospital? Well, he was. He was in the hospital. Here's the text. Charlie, did I hear right? Mr. Stumbo is in the hospital? Yes, Richard, you're exactly right. Well, he was in the hospital. According to him, he woke up Saturday morning, wasn't feeling good, called the doctor. Doctor said, we're going to get you to the hospital. We're going to get you checked out. But he's already back on the campaign trail. So let me tell you what. Now, I'm no doctor, and I don't know his diagnosis, but let me tell you what is probably going on here. As far as what I know, I mean, it is so. Say, hey, Charlie, I didn't vote in the primary, but I sure would like to vote in the runoff. You can still do that. Just go to scvotes.gov. That's scvotes.gov. Find your polling place. Go and vote tomorrow. Tomorrow is it. I mean, we're going to find out a whole lot. We're going to find out the governor's race, which we'll talk about in just a second. We're going to find out the attorney general's race. We're going to find out the commissioner of agriculture, and some of our districts also have runoffs going on. So let's go to John in Spartanburg. Talk about Pamela Evett. What's going on, John?
How you doing, Charlie?
I'm good, man. What's up?
I had a couple questions for you. First question is, how long would you consider somebody in government office to be a career politician?
I don't know. I would say 20 years. A career. A good career,
right.
a good 20 years.
Be in there, right, because I know you got to be in office to get stuff done a certain amount of time.
Right.
Or you ain't going to get nothing done.
Right.
And my next question is, on a lieutenant governor salary, how does a person rack up $5 to $10 million in 7 to 8 years?
Well, that's it. I mean, Pamela Evett was a very successful businesswoman before she became lieutenant governor. So most of her money came before all of that. If that were not the case, we would have a lot more things to worry about, right?
Right, because I looked it up, and since she's been in office, she's been in there 7.5 years, I believe is what it said.
Yeah.
Her net worth grew to $5 to $10 million in them 7 years.
Yeah, probably.
Now, I understand you got net worth before you go in and everything, but if your net worth has not grown that much before you go into government, and then once you go into government and it grows that much in that short of time, that's what I was curious about. Maybe I'm not seeing the big picture.
Well, here's the thing. We don't know how much she's got invested. We don't know what company she's invested in. That could have been making money off the stock market and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, that's something we've always got to consider. That's one thing, and I appreciate it, John. That's one thing that hasn't come up in this race is finances. What did come up is the unprecedented move by Donald Trump. Literally never heard of anything like this. Never heard of anything like this. Donald Trump has co-endorsed both candidates for governor of South Carolina. We broke this news to you Friday afternoon. I did the old Rush Limbaugh, diddle up, diddle up, diddle up, diddle up. It was the breaking news. He endorsed Attorney General Alan Wilson. Now, he had previously endorsed Pamela Vett. Now, here's the thing, because we all remember when that happened. And we all remember what we were going through when that endorsement happened. Trump was looking for redistricting in South Carolina, looking to pick up that just one extra House seat with a good conservative Republican. Okay? So, what we heard was, here was the deal. McMaster would call the Senate back to special session if, and this is what everybody's saying, if Donald Trump would endorse Pam Vett for governor. Okay? And in return for that, Pam Vett would pick Henry McMaster Jr. as her running mate. So when that story broke, I mean, everybody was like, oh, heck no. Deal breaker for me. I do not want a Henry McMaster dynasty in there. Don't want that to happen. And then I think the Yvette camp, they were like, oh, my goodness, we really made a mistake. So then McMaster Jr., he issued this statement that he's not ready to do this right now. And then Pam Yvette has narrowed down her potential running mates to nine people. So it's been crazy. It really has. I've never heard of a co-endorsement. So, but here's what I believe happened. I believe Donald Trump was not all that happy with Henry McMaster. I don't think he was happy with Henry McMaster's behavior at all. Because look, we didn't get the one big beautiful bill. We didn't get the redistricting. That's the only two things that Trump has asked for from South Carolina, other than votes. Get out there, give your people the one big beautiful bill so they can benefit from the tax cuts. And number two, get the redistricting done. Neither one of those things got done. Neither one. So Trump said, oh, okay. Oh, well, here's what I'm going to do, Henry. I'm going to give you old. So he said, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to announce I'm going to endorse Alan Wilson as well. Good. You want to talk about a level playing field? Charlie, so the day before the election, we still don't know who her running mate is? You're exactly right. And we won't know until if she wins tomorrow. We're still not going to know. She said if she won the primary, she would still not be announcing until after. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm telling you, it's been a crazy, crazy election season. But it all, well, so to speak, ends tomorrow. Then we got the midterms to look forward to. Hey, Charlie, in your opinion, wouldn't a co-endorsement be almost the same as no endorsement? Yup, it would. You see, Donald Trump knew one thing. He could not renege on an endorsement. He couldn't renege on an endorsement. So he can't say, all right, I endorse you, and now I unendorse you, and I endorse this guy, because that doesn't look good for the president. So he said, you know what? I was going to do that. Charlie, Henry McMaster did not federalize law enforcement. That's right. He did not. Charlie, doing a co-endorsement of both candidates is like eating pasta and antipasto. When you finish, you're still hungry because they cancel each other out. Yep, you're exactly right. So there you go. That's what we got. When we get back, want to talk about Trump making some people mad. Gosh, these statements that he issued to Iran, they were, what did the kids say? Fire. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Grit, truth, and a whole lot of common sense. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Call. One number does it all.
800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, lots going on over in Iran as J.D. Vance, Jared Kushner, and forget the other guy's name. They were over there with these so-called peace deals. Now, there's some things that we know, obviously. Can we trust Iran? No, we cannot trust Iran. No. That's kind of the point of this memorandum of understanding. Number two, can we trust the Iranian media? No, we can't trust the Iranian media. Number three, can we trust our media? No, we cannot trust them either. Not totally. Some outlets you can, but the vast majority of the mainstream media, completely untrustworthy. There were some meetings this weekend, and I believe the folks at the IRGC, they were talking about closing the Strait of Hormuz again. In fact, they said it was closed. Some of the other leaders said, no, it's not. But once you listen to this, President Trump spoke with Trey Yingst over there at Fox News.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. I just spoke with President Trump for more than 20 minutes, and he gave some new insight and reaction about the ongoing talks that are taking place in Switzerland and the threats coming from the Iranian regime. President Trump telling Fox News that the U.S. may take over the strait in the future if they have to and collect tolls. The president described this as the United States being the guardian angel of the Strait of Hormuz and the Middle East. And the president said ultimately that would involve the U.S.
Let me tell you something. Even if we were to put a 20% tax on that, a guardian angel tax, let me tell you who would love it. Everybody. Everybody would love it. You know who would really love it? The insurance companies. Lloyd's of London would love that. Because now the ships that are insured, there's almost, no chance that they're going to be attacked because every ship that goes through the Strait of Hormuz has to have a wartime maritime tax. And the only wartime maritime tax supplier or insurance supplier is Lloyd's of London. That's it. They've been making bank off of this, by the way. They've been loving what's going on over in the Middle East. They've been making a lot of money. So, there you go. That's where you are, but let's continue.
U.S. taking 20% of the oil that passes through the strait. Remember, this comes in reaction to the Iranians saying they will close the Strait of Hormuz in response to Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon. President Trump tells Fox News he spoke with Iranian officials overnight and said, you close it and you won't have a country. He went on to tell these officials, you won't even make it back to your effing country.
I love it. I love it. Listen, not only are you not going to have a country, but you're in Switzerland right now. You're not going to make it back to your own country. You keep this crap up. I don't know if you could get a whole lot more direct than that. I really don't. So it appeared after they were talking about that, it appeared that the Iranians stormed out of the meeting. Well, that's not exactly what happened, at least according to J.D. Vance, who was there. Wait a minute, hold on. Let me get this clip up here. Yep, here's the clip I'm looking for.
Interpret what happened.
No, I mean, I trust me, I've spent a lot of time dealing with the Iranians over the last few months. Sometimes I find them extremely confusing as negotiators. But look, we had a little press conference. They obviously don't quite have the same First Amendment protections in Iran that we have in the United States of America. We talked to you guys and then had a series of really good meetings. What I did find kind of funny is that after that initial meeting, there was this, sort of social media firestorm where everybody said the Iranians are going to leave, and then we proceeded to talk to them for like the next 9 hours. So I would just encourage the media, mistrust a little bit what you see coming out of Iranian social media. They can be confusing negotiators, but we feel like we're making progress. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly right. He also said this. He said this has been a very successful trip.
All right, guys, good to see you. Well, again, I feel great about the progress that we made over the last couple of days. We're looking forward to going back home. It's been a very long day. I know the reporters had a long day as well, so I appreciate you guys. But look, the fundamental thing we got is, number one, we set up the mechanism to ensure not only the Straits of Hormuz are open, but will stay open. We think about 15 million barrels of oil come out. That's one of the reasons why oil is so low right now. Obviously, that means lower gas prices, and gas prices are going to keep coming down. Number two, we actually set up the right mechanism to ensure the regional ceasefire to manage the inevitable conflicts that will come up. We feel great about that. We're working with our allies, from the Israelis to the Gulf Arabs, to make sure that sticks, and we feel very, very good about where that is.
All right, so things are going well despite what the mainstream media wants you to think. Let's go to Sam over in Pickens. Sam, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Listen, the other day you had a gentleman on, and he was helping us with what kind of fertilizers and all to use on your lawn and when to use them.
Right.
And before on WRD, which I listen to, they used to give out the name of a nursery that would tell you that stuff and what to spray on your shrubs and stuff. Do you remember which one it was?
Here's what you need to do. You need to reach out to the Clemson Extension Service. All right?
Okay, Clemson
Extension Service in Greenville. And they've got, on their website, they've got a wealth of information. They really do. They can tell you all of these, if you got what kind of weeds you've got, it'll tell you how to take care of that. It'll tell you, now what you need to do is get a soil test on your soil. That way they can pinpoint exactly what type and what amounts of fertilizer you need for your lawn.
10-4. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it, Sam. Good luck with it, buddy. I know one thing. My lawn, I'll be glad to get a little rain tonight. My lawn is a little bit thirsty right now. Just a little bit of you think you're going to get some rain tonight? Oh, I love you. JJ says the storm's going to clear the air for the primary tomorrow. Yep, we got that going on. Don't forget to get out there and vote. But again, listen, all of this garbage, and what really is irritating to me is all of these people that the naysayers that are talking about what's going on in Iran. Now, when all of a sudden did conservatives start listening to the mainstream media? When did that happen? When did we start believing that garbage? And half the people on Fox News don't believe the junk that you've been in, because they were the ones behind Russia. They put that out there. They were the ones behind the COVID, putting all of that misinformation out there. And you know what they're doing right now? Tulsi Gabbard, on her way out at the Department of National Intelligence, she dropped a bomb on Dr. Fauci. She dropped documents proving that Dr. Fauci lied not only to the American people, but he lied under oath to Congress. And do you know how many stories the mainstream media has run on this? This is we're going to talk about it coming up. This is a bombshell. It's a bombshell. Zero. They've spent 0 minutes covering Dr. Fauci and Tulsi Gabbard. Absolutely none. This guy was a liar from the get-go. He lied along with Dr. Birx, who admitted it, lied to Donald Trump, lied to the American people, lied to Congress, and then in the moments that Joe Biden was still president of the United States, quote unquote, he called and begged for a pardon, a preemptive pardon, because he knew that he had committed perjury. Well, some people say there's a little way around those pardons. We'll talk about that coming up. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of non-stop breaking news and stimulating talk jumpstarts every hour on the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9
WORD.
the voice of the Carolinas. Charlie Speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome back to the program. Boy, I tell you what, our state legislature, they never fail to impress me. Yes, absolutely, yes. I'm sitting here today impressed because we got something done here in South Carolina. We got something done. Now, did we get the primaries closed? No, we didn't. Did we get the state redistricted? No, it wasn't that. Did they get our roads taken care of? Well, no, it wasn't the roads. Our bridges. It had to be our bridge. No, it wasn't the bridges. Did we cut spending? No, didn't do that. Oh, look what we did. We passed a UTV bill, a UTV, or as a lot of people call them, side-by-sides. This was sponsored by Senators Ott and Stubbs, which I think would make the great title for a buddy cop movie. Ott and Stubbs on the scene. It is now legal for you to drive your side-by-side on some roads here in South Carolina. I know because we needed this. This was something we needed. We had to have it. All that other stuff, that's all just, flotsam and jetsam. This was important. A new state law will allow certain UTVs on public roads starting November the 18th. Owners will have to register their UTV with the DMV, carry insurance, and add basic safety gear like headlights, brake lights, turn signals, and seat belts. Drivers must be 17 years old with a valid license. Drivers under 21 have to wear a helmet with a face shield. The law only allows UTVs on roads with speed limits of 55 miles an hour or lower, and drivers have to stay within a 10-mile radius of the address on their registration. So passengers younger than 8, not allowed on a UTV on a public road. So, but at least we got that done this legislative session. I was kind of worried about that. I really was. That was kind of getting to me. Oh my goodness. So there you go. There is literally no rhyme nor reason what these people do in our state legislature. I guess sometimes they got to do something. Hey, Charlie, that's almost as important as the cyclist can yield to stop signs bill. I'm proud to be a South Carolinian. Oh, you're exactly right. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Charlie, more idiots on the road. I'll be sued if I hit one. Probably so. So it really is amazing what these people think is important. The bill that was passed the other day allows cyclists to treat a stop sign as a yield sign. You just blow right on through. And as I told you, when I was living down in Charleston, I lived down on the peninsula, going home every day, I'd hit Reynolds Street, and I would have to pump my brakes. I know, at least 3 times a week, because some cyclist just blew through a stop sign, didn't even look, so they weren't even doing it anyway. That law is going to get people hurt. That law is going to get people seriously hurt. Charlie, Charlie, let me see. That pair would be less of a buddy cop show, more like a Statler and Waldorf on the Muppet Show. Charlie, want them to enforce that just like they enforce the distracted driver's law. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Saw a lady today is coming into work, digging on that phone, man, while she was driving. We're not even talking about stopped at a red light. She was digging on that phone, and I wanted to honk at her, but I didn't. But anyway, I just don't see. Here's the thing. When these people go to work every day, they're there to do one thing: make new laws. Make new laws. I want to know what lobby group? What lobby group do you think got to Ott and Stubbs? What kind of... Hello, my name is Charlie James. I am with the UTV Commission, and I think you should allow UTVs on the public roads here in South Carolina. Oh, yeah. No, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand the way they work. I don't understand. Meanwhile, we've got important things. So they're out there spending money on lesbian podcasts. They're spending money on gummy bear museums. They're spending money on to start up a South Carolina Sports Hall of Fame. But to start up the podcast, they spent $950,000. That's, I don't get them. Hey, Charlie, 15-minute cities. Oh, and insurance tags, personal property tax. Yeah, they owe insurance tax. Oh, yeah, they're going to have to do all that. And you are, you know what, 983, you're a genius. You are a genius. This all has to do with the taxes. Now they're going to be, oh, yeah, yep. You're going to have to pay, you're going to have to get your tag. You're going to have to do all that. And that's more money for the state. Man, they will find any little sneaky way to try to get you. You know who they ought to tax? Let me tell you who they ought to tax. How about we start taxing those bicyclists? When I was a kid, for a little bit of time, I lived down in Florida. There's no joke. Lived down in Florida. For you to have a bicycle, you had to have, I don't think they do it now, probably not, but you had to have a sticker from the DMV on your bike. That's no joke. And it had all the months, you know, it had the logo, the seal of the Florida, and had, you know, the 6 months on one side, 6 months on the other. And they would take like a hole puncher and punch a hole when you needed to get it renewed. I don't even know how. I never had one, but I know some that did. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
You've stepped into the Upstate Talk Octagon. A few left jabs and a lot of right uppercuts. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's talk.
It's the right talk.
Charlie.
Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
America is back.
Yes, sir, and we are back. Let's go to the phones. We're going to talk to Earl in Piedmont. How you doing, Earl?
How you doing, Charlie?
I'm great, man. What's up?
Well, I caught you a little late, but anyway, all these vehicles that they're going to turn loose, these side-by-sides,
Yeah.
off-road vehicles, I have a few of those on my farm, and a golf cart and tractors, and every one of them, I looked specifically this morning, every one of them says not for highway use on the tires.
Right. Yeah.
So,
that's going to be a thing.
I got a ticket one time for having a tire on a truck that had come off a trailer, and it said that on it.
Yeah.
You know, I knew it was on there, and I got stopped in the road check, and they inspected my truck, and I got a ticket for that. It was 30 years ago. But how did the tires get better just because they're going to let you run them on the street?
Yeah, that's going to be a good question. Are these things going to have to be retrofitted with street legal tires?
I mean, you know, that whole neighborhood that I live in got golf carts. There's 100 of them when they're all out.
Yeah.
And every one of them says that, not for highway use. Lawnmowers, tractors, everything. I probably got all my stuff. I got 100-something tires on the ground.
Oh, my gosh. That's a lot of tires.
I like to have a stroke when I was doing the inventory.
Yeah, I bet.
But all of those off-road things that I got, tractors and all lawnmowers, all not for highway use on all the tires.
How about that? That's going to be interesting. I wonder if they had to amend the law or something like that. I don't know, Earl. We'll look into that. I appreciate it, buddy. Let's go to Gerald in Cowpens. How you doing, Gerald?
All right. Charlie, now, when I was 8 years old, you know, we shot marbles, caught chicken chokers, and played roller bat. Now I've got a granddaughter down in Florida, which is 8 years old, playing in a World Series at 8 years old.
A World Series?
Yes, sir. That boy, has times changed.
Yeah, you're exactly right. All right, Gerald, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Okay, listen. Every time we think we got it figured out about how just crazy the leftists are, they always surprise us. They always surprise us. For some reason, one of the big things that the left hates is Donald Trump fixing the reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial down to the Washington Memorial. It's a reflecting pool. It's supposed to reflect. Well, it hasn't reflected in a long, long time. So Donald Trump went in, they put a new liner, they did new paint, they got it all cleaned up. There are ducks living in it now. It's wonderful. But all of a sudden, a couple of days ago, and I noticed this on the local news channels, they were talking about all of the algae in the reflecting pool. Oh, look at us. Oh, boy, the local news media, you guys should be ashamed of yourself. Oh, Donald Trump is a failure for Donald Trump. That's all they wanted to happen, was for this thing, this beautification project of Washington, D.C., to be a failure for Donald Trump. They want Donald Trump to fail at any and everything. They know he's not going to fail at everything, so they want him to fail at anything. So they picked this reflecting pool. Okay, so how crazy are the left? Are you ready for this? They're now out there cheering for algae.
Let's go, algae, let's go! Let's go, algae, let's go! Let's go, algae, let's go! Woo! Yeah, algae! Algae! You got this, algae!
You got this algae. These people are nuts. They're insane. So what actually, they're actually arresting people now. And in fact, they arrested an Olympic kayaker, I believe. Listen to this, the former U.S. athlete. This is from Fox News here. Here we go.
Okay, multiple people, including a former U.S. Olympian, have now been arrested for allegedly vandalizing the newly renovated reflecting pool in the nation's capital.
Kevin Cork joins us now from the White House with all the latest on this. Kevin, good morning.
Yeah, frankly, this is, and good morning to all of you. This is a sad story because all Americans, I don't care about your political stripes, enjoy the reflecting pool. But as Charlie points out, we're talking about someone who's gone from competing in Olympic-sized swimming pools to being accused of vandalizing the reflecting pool along the mall. And, of course, he ends up in cuffs. And apparently he's not the only one. We're speaking of a former Olympian canoeist, 67-year-old David Hearn, three-time Olympian, by the way.
Three-time Olympian vandalizing the reflecting pool. So we started seeing all that, and I'll admit, I was like, "Oh, this doesn't look bad. This doesn't look good for Donald Trump," because they were actually showing where parts of the new lining at the bottom, the protective paint that they put on there, was actually peeling off. Well, come to find out, no kidding, the people were peeling it off. This wasn't something that was just happening, and now we have found out that people were actually dumping live algae into the reflecting pool. Into the pool. They're dumping the algae in there. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. How crazy these people are. Yeah, it's like, yeah. JJ just said it's kind of like the SPLC. Yeah. There is no algae, so they have to go get the algae. People are ripping the pool sealant off the bottom. They're dumping live algae into the pond, into the pool. These people are nuts. They're nuts. But they want us to trust them and their candidates? I don't think so. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Giving the left heartburn. Afternoons 3 to 7. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. and type your message on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Juneteenth. There was a big celebration. In fact, the biggest celebration in South Carolina for Juneteenth was in Columbia, where they celebrated at a Juneteenth festival. Family event. They had food trucks out there. They had performers out there. The performing is just everybody. Everybody was having a good time. They were laughing. They were singing. They were dancing. They were rioting. They were beating people down. They were throwing punch. Wait a minute. What did I say? Did I say something wrong, JJ? Did I skip over something there? Oh yeah. The rioting thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. We got to. I guess we got to talk about the rioting thing at the Juneteenth festival this weekend. So now, because of what happened at Juneteenth, and I don't know which park they had this in Columbia, but now the city has banned all unaccompanied kids from the park after 5 p.m. permanently, from now until the end of time. So I don't know what the age limit here is, but if you're a kid, you can't go to the park without an adult now because of this. And which is 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, that's it. So you get, yeah, but it won't be this winter. It won't be this fall. I guarantee you. JJ's like, it's still light. Officials in Columbia, South Carolina have now banned unaccompanied minors under 17 at Finley Park after 5 p.m. following an aggressive teen takeover that shut down this weekend's Juneteenth festival. 4 people were arrested in this thing. So this is a huge problem. And you know who's not covering this problem really fully enough? The mainstream media. Because these teen takeovers are being perpetrated primarily by young African-American teenagers, and the networks don't want to appear to be racist, so they can't report on it. Can't report on that. I'm not going to tell you what JJ just said. I'm not going to tell you. I had to giggle, but I'm not going to tell you what he just said. Shame. Oh, there you go. There you go. Bad youth is a term for bad youth. So they banned all of that. But that wasn't the worst happening of the weekend. You know, Juneteenth this weekend. Almost 40 people were shot in Chicago this weekend. So they're like, whoa, Obama Library, we got Juneteenth going on. Bang, bang, bang. 39 people shot, 6 people fatally shot in Chicago this weekend, according to police. A pair of drive-by shooters injured at least 13 people on the South Side Friday night. And how did Mayor Johnson respond to the shootings? Well, he didn't. He didn't respond to the shootings. This is what Mayor Brandon Johnson posted. For too many transgender Chicagoans, the sense of belonging they deserve in their city has been denied by exclusion and barriers to opportunity in spaces that should feel safe and welcoming. Since declaring a transfemicide state of emergency, transfemicide, and they got a word for it now. It's transfemicide. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I get it. No word about the 30. No. You don't want to talk about the 39 people that, no. You don't want to talk about the shooting. No. You don't want to talk about that. Well, people over some guy posted, Mr. Johnson, by my count, 15 transgender individuals were killed in Chicago over the last decade. That's 1.5 per year. Based on the cited rate of 0.5% of adults, that works out to a homicide rate of about 14 per 100,000 transgender residents per year of transgender residents. During that same period, Chicago averaged about 645 homicides per year for the rest of the city's population. That works out to roughly 24 homicides per 100,000 non-trans residents per year. If 14 per 100,000 is a state of emergency, what do you call 24 per 100,000? And he's absolutely right. Let's go to Jarrett in Morganton. How you doing, Jarrett?
I'm good. How are you, Charlie?
I'm fantastic. What's going on, man?
Not much. But, you're talking about all that down at the park down there. I bet you if that's a bunch of Republicans that took it over, the news would be reporting it big time.
Yeah, it would be. They would have called it a fascist gathering.
Yep, that's what they'd call it. Nazis, all that stuff.
That's exactly right. You're right, Jared. I appreciate it. Nazis, right, white supremacists. They would have called it another Charlotte. They would have called it Charlottesville 2.0 if that had been a bunch of Republicans down there. Charlottesville 2.0, that's what they would have said. But no, because it was young African-American youth, they can't say anything about it. They refuse to say anything about it. You see, you can't fix a problem unless you report on it or unless you have all the facts, and they don't want to give you the facts. They want to hide it from you. These things are happening all over the place. Chicago, Detroit, Boston, Atlanta. The beatdowns going on, stores are being vandalized, and nobody wants to say anything about it. Well, you better. You better start saying something about it, or this is going to get even worse. Because we got several months still of summer left. No telling what's going to happen. All right, WORD Talk Line, 800-9050-989. That's also the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. When we get back, Tulsi Gabbard's report on Anthony Fauci, and it's not a good one, folks. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9, WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour, every afternoon on The Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Chat with Charlie.
800-905-0989. Save it on your phone.
This is the Charlie James Show, only on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the WORD talk line. Talk to Chuck in Mills River, who is on his lunch break. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing fine. I'm sitting here having lunch with my son. Say, Julian, how is it? Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Julian, what's up, man? What's going on, bud?
Hey, man, I wanted to point out the fact that y'all have one of these fine teenage rampages in Columbia. I heard you say.
Yeah, oh, it was wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it can't happen here type kind of situations.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I remember hearing that you're underage. You only go to jail for a couple of years. You do my bidding, and it's been around forever. But now you got a whole generation of kids that think it's no big deal if they go to jail.
Yeah.
And if you get together in large enough numbers, they can only catch a handful of you.
Right.
I mean, that's the crowd, that's the mob mentality.
Can't
There's
take us all.
democracy.
Yeah.
There's democracy in action.
Yeah.
With teenagers voting.
Yeah.
That's what they want. They're talking about letting illegals vote, and the Democrats have been trying forever to get the voting age dropped to 16. Like I say, Julian, who just walked out, go do his work. He's a teenager. He's never done any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Why? Because he has dad at home, knows if he catches him, his backside's grass.
Exactly.
But if you get enough of anybody that think they can get away with anything, put a large group of them in a big, like downtown or at a mall or at a park.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. And things get out of hand. The defund the police movement, which everyone on the left denies ever happened. The ones that were the people that I heard saying defund the cops. We got to do away with law enforcement because it's a leftover from slavery. Yeah, that's all fine and well until somebody's breaking into your house that was running away from one of these.
You know what I noticed, Chuck, did not happen? They didn't send a bunch of social workers when these kids were rioting.
Yeah, and I predict if they do I predict if they do start sending social workers, we're going to watch the death rate of social workers skyrocket.
Exactly right.
Because this is getting out of hand, and people, you can say what you want to, Christian nation or not, one thing hasn't changed no matter what. You spare the rod, you spoil that child. That child's got to know his limitations. It's like Dirty Harry said, except in this case it's a child, and you have to teach them their limitations. You have to spank them. And I'm not saying beat your child.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying it's the whole point that goes along with it. My dad, he made me sit there and think about what I'd done while he prepared himself, because now I know what it's like. He'd come in and he'd whip me and then say, you think about what you've done. He'd left and he'd come back in. And, there were tears in his eyes. And I never understood why, because it hurt me, I thought, more than him. But now, as a father, I know it's just the opposite. You have to do that, else these kids don't learn limitations. No limitations, and stuff gets out of hand quick.
Oh,
and what are you going to do with a bunch of teenagers when you're a cop?
You can't.
A grown man.
You can't do anything. And that's what they've been taught. That's what they know, Chuck. I'm going to let you go here, but that's it. I mean, there's more of them out there than there are police at any given moment. And by them, I mean the mobs, the ne'er-do-wells, the people that just don't want to follow the law. But these teen takeovers are a serious problem that we're having in this country, and we need to do something about it. Somebody over on the text line said, Charlie, that's Finley Park in Columbia. The city of Columbia just spent millions of dollars to renovate that. Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't matter. None of that matters. We, because of Democrats, are living in a lawless society. And the only thing you can do is just look at it and go, this is exactly what the Democrats want. They want anarchy. They want all of this to happen. It's got to be part of the plan. Look at the way they treat criminals. Look at the no cash bonds that they put out. Look at how the light sentences that they have. Look at all of these rogue judges everywhere that aren't putting people in jail for any length of time. They've got a candidate in New York. I think she's running for, I can't remember what she's running for, but this woman does not want people to go to jail, including, are you ready for this? Murderers. She doesn't want murderers to go to jail. Because she literally said something like, well, that would be bad for their mental well-being. Well, yeah, it's supposed to be. We need to make jail difficult again. We need to make jail a place that you would, listen, I spend my days making sure that I go home at night to see my wife and that I don't do anything from the time I wake up till the time I go to bed that would prevent me from seeing my wife at night or anytime. I'm not going to jail. I'm just not. I'm not going to do anything to go to jail. I don't want to do any. If anything sounds if there's any remote possibility that Charlie could go to jail, Charlie says no. I'm not going to do that. That would be a bad thing. But there are people out there that just don't care because they've been taught not to care because it's been glorified. It's been glorified. You don't earn street cred unless you've done some time in jail, got yourself a couple of jailhouse tattoos. That's crazy. That is nuts. But that's where we are, and that's Democrats love it. If they didn't love it, they would do something about it, and they would quit fudging all of these crime numbers that are happening. I will bet you. I mean, if you beat someone, that's a violent crime. But I will guarantee you, those 4 people that were arrested in Colombia, out of the 4, I'm going to say maybe 1 does time. Maybe. The rest are going to get off, or they're going to be released, for whatever reason that the Democrats come up with. They're not going to jail. These kids aren't going to jail. And they're going to have a good story to tell. And then somebody's going to say, man, that was a good story he told. I think I'm going to do that same thing. Oh, it's not that bad. That's the problem we've got in this country. That's the problem. We do not enforce the law. Charlie, I have an uncle that used to be a district attorney in North Carolina. When my brother and I were in our early teens, he took us on a tour of the local prison. And we learned that we do not want to end up there. Period. Exactly right. Period. You don't want to do that. That's, scared straight. You definitely don't want to end up in jail. So, Charlie, the rod of discipline and consequences, not necessarily spanking. Spanking didn't faze my brother, but not being allowed to watch Howdy Doody, that worked wonders on him. Yeah. I'm telling you. Punishment is, it's not, it's not the same prescription for everybody. But there you go. It is effective if done properly. All right, we'll take a break and be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour, every afternoon on the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas. on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. Text or call. One number does it all.
800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Every now and then I'll go through my Facebook memories and I will look back and I'll recall, because there'll be some sort of a post or something there about what all we went through during COVID. And it was a lot that we went through. We went through masking. We went through double masking. We went through social distancing that had no scientific basis whatsoever. We had those pieces of plexiglass between us and the stores that we could go to. I mean, all of these rules and down in Charleston at the beaches, I was like, who's coming up with this stuff? Who's coming up with this stuff? You could not go to the beach and just sit on the beach in Charleston. Couldn't go to Sullivan's Island, couldn't go to Isle of Palms, couldn't go to Folly. You couldn't go there and just sit. Now, you could go there and exercise. You had to be moving unless you were fishing. This is no joke. If you were fishing, then you could just stand there. So I guess COVID didn't affect fishermen. It was so much stupidity. I remember seeing these police wading into, I believe it was in San Francisco, on one of the beaches, wading into the water and escorting a surfer out who was out there all by himself until the police went and made contact with him. It was crazy. It was nuts. And who did they praise the whole time? The guy that told us, if I were an American right now, I wouldn't be wearing a mask. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, you definitely need to wear a mask because when somebody's talking, you might get a droplet. Might get a droplet on you. It comes out of the mouth and falls on your lip, and then you get the COVID. Everybody loved Fauci. Oh, they loved them some Fauci.
The single most respected voice in the pandemic. It's Dr. Anthony Fauci.
The man who's become known as America's doctor.
The nation's top infectious disease expert, Anthony Fauci.
You are seen to many as a superhero.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, American hero and New York Yankee fan.
You've done so much for this country in terms of this crisis, so I really appreciate your insight.
Who better to give us answers that we can trust than Dr. Anthony Fauci?
The perfect person to answer our questions today. Joining us now, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, appreciate your candor.
Dr. Fauci, appreciate the candor.
We appreciate your service to this country.
We appreciate your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Greatly appreciate your service to him.
Oh, my gosh. Vomit. That's all. We love Fauci. There was even a guy like, oh, Dr. Fauci, we love you all. Come to find out, Fauci was lying. Fauci was lying. Former DNI director, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, on her last day in that position, revealed that there is a path to prosecute Fauci for lying to Congress, because he did lie to Congress. Gabbard exposed Fauci for providing millions in U.S. taxpayer dollars to fund dangerous gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab. And he worked with the deep state to cover up the lab leak origins, and he lied to Congress in 2024 and to the American people and to the president. He lied. Absolutely bald-faced lied. Fauci funded the actual research that created COVID-19. And then what did they try to tell us? What did they try to tell us? Oh, no, it started at a wet lab in Wuhan. Yeah, I guess somebody ate is it a bat? No, not a bat wouldn't be good. A pangolin. Somebody ate a pangolin. Yeah, right? I know. Judge is like, well, I don't know. It's an ugly lizard. Somebody ate a pangolin. And they got it. And that's what happened. Fauci lied to Congress and he lied to the American people. Lied to everybody. Pretty amazing. But everybody was falling for this hook line. And what is amazing to me is that Jon Stewart was one of the few people to actually get out there and say, hey, you know what? Something ain't right here. Something ain't right here. I want you to listen to Jon Stewart. He was on with Charleston's embarrassment, Stephen Colbert. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go.
There's a chance that this was created in a lab. There's an investigation.
A chance?
Well,
oh my
if
God.
there was evidence, I'd love to hear it.
There's
I just don't know.
a novel respiratory coronavirus overtaking Wuhan, China. What do? Oh, you know who we could ask? The Wuhan Novel Respiratory Coronavirus Lab. The disease is the same name as the lab. That's just a little too weird, don't you think? And then they ask the scientists, they're like, how did this... So wait a minute, you work at the Wuhan Respiratory Coronavirus Lab. How did this happen? And they're like, a pangolin kissed a turtle? And you're like, no, the name of your lab. If you look at the name, let me see your business card. Show me your business card. Oh, I work at the coronavirus lab in Wuhan. Oh, because there's a coronavirus loose in Wuhan. How did that happen? Maybe a bat flew into the cloaca of a turkey and then it sneezed into my chili and now we all have coronavirus. Like, come on. Okay.
Wait a second.
What about this? Listen to this.
Wait a second.
All right.
John.
Oh my God. There's been an outbreak of chocolatey goodness near Hershey, Pennsylvania. What do you think happened? Like, oh, I don't know. Maybe a steam shovel mated with a cocoa bean. Or it's the chocolate factory. Maybe that's it.
That could be.
And he was exactly right, much to the chagrin of Stephen Colbert, who was pushing for Dr. Fauci and all of that. So could Dr. Fauci go to jail? Oh, I hate to say it, but I would love to see it. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
You're locked into the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's talk.
It's the right talk. Charlie. Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Well, it's quitting time. You folks are headed home from work, and I know maybe anybody out there that likes to wind down their evening just before they go to bed and watch a good late-night comedy show like the Jimmy Kimmel Show. I got some bad news for you Jimmy Kimmel fans out there. Jimmy Kimmel is going to be taking a little bit of time off. Let's take a listen to what he said about it. Here we go.
I hope you're paying attention this summer, because I will be taking the next 2 months off, this time voluntarily. Well, we have assembled a potent group of hosts to fill in for me, beginning with Tiffany Haddish, Coleman Domingo, Ike Barinholtz, Anthony Anderson, Jelly Roll, and...
I've only heard of one of those people. And that was Jelly Roll. And I've only heard of Jelly Roll and his weird relationship with his wife now. But anyway, there's another person that Jimmy Kimmel wants to point out is going to be guest hosting for him during his hiatus.
As a special treat for our commander-in-chief, I asked one of his all-time favorites, Rosie O'Donnell, to be here.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And all I ask in return, Mr. President, is that you don't do anything stupid while I'm gone. Hope you're paying.
There you go. So Jimmy Kimmel asking Rosie O'Donnell, let me tell you what, that show is, as it stands, with Jimmy Kimmel as the host. And they're losing money hand over fist. The same thing with Stephen Colbert. They're losing money. That show is unwatchable. It really is. I mean, gone are the days of Carson. Gone are the days of the old David Letterman. Gone are the days of Jay Leno. Now we've got these activists out there. And to put Rosie O'Donnell as a fill-in host, listen to what this woman said. It's amazing.
I don't think it happened. I think Kamala won. I do.
Interesting.
And I think that we're going to find all this out. It's going to come out. And it's I'm not the first person to say this. There are all these researchers who are saying it. I read it online again today. And, you know, the Elon Musk of it all, what did he do for Donald that was able to...
So wait, whoa. Hold on. I thought being an election denier was a bad thing. Remember when we were, and there's proof of all the cheating that went on in 2020. We all know about that. There's plenty of proof. Where's the proof that Donald Trump cheated? In what way did he cheat? In what weird, strange universe did Kamala Harris win? Man, I'm glad that didn't happen. Because you know what July 4th would be like, our 250th anniversary? It would be full of diversity, equity, and inclusion. It would be full of critical race theory. It would have been. And now they're even denying that July 4th is our birthday, 1776. Lying about that. No, it was it was in 1619. That whole thing to make sure that you think that slavery has been in the United States of America for a lot longer than it has. That is, you want to talk about revisionist history, that's a perfect example. Perfect example of revisionist history. But to put Rosie O'Donnell on there, it's going to be nothing. That's all it's going to be about. Oh, you know what? Thank you, Jimmy Kimmel. Thank you for putting Rosie O'Donnell on your show. Thank you for making her a fill-in guest host. That's going to, I hope that even liberals out there, even the people who are vandalizing the reflecting pond or pool in Washington, D.C., I hope those people get tired of it as well. They should be. But this is good. I'm glad. What happened to it? What happened to going to bed at night, getting some jokes? I mean, Carson used to give it out to both sides equally. He gave it out to Reagan. He gave it out to Biden. He gave it out to everybody. But you knew that it was going to be funny, and it was funny. You knew the guests were going to be entertaining, and you weren't just going to be beaten over the head every night before you went to bed with all this political claptrap. Leftist claptrap is what it is. So thank you, Jimmy Kimmel. I appreciate that. I really do. I'd love to see the ratings on those shows because I don't think they're going to be good at all. And we saw what happened. So saw what happened. Anyway, WRD talk line 800-9050-989. Had several people text me this afternoon and say, Charlie, what is going on with David Stumbo? I heard that he was hospitalized. Well, yeah, you're right, he did. Went to the hospital Saturday morning, woke up, wasn't feeling well, and his wife said, call the doctor. Called the doctor. He went to the hospital, got checked out, but he is back on the campaign trail and raring to go, says he feels good. I just got a text from him a few minutes ago, said he feels A-OK, and he's back on the campaign trail. Don't forget, tomorrow the election is happening. These are the runoff elections, and we've got the special show that is going to be happening tomorrow evening. When this show is over at 7 o'clock, we're going to go into the special runoff election coverage. You don't want to miss out on that because we got a lot of races that we got to go over. Let me see here. So just some of these races that we're going to be looking at. Of course, the governor's race between Pam Avett and Alan Wilson. You got the attorney general race, Stephen Goldfinch, David Stumbo, the commissioner of agriculture. You've got Danny Ford, Cody Simpson, House of Representative Jenny Costa Honeycutt versus Mark Smith. And I'm tell you what, I hope Mark Smith wins that thing. I do, because I don't want another rhino, spineless Republican in the House of Representatives in the 1st Congressional District. This is the person that's going to take over for Nancy Mace's position. I hope Mark Smith, I'm telling you now, I hope Mark Smith wins that one. Sherry Hodges over in District 8 is running against Don Chapman. I'm going to have Sherry Hodges on the program coming up at 5:35. Over in the 96th, you've got Hunter Hackett, Scotty Whetstone, and in the 99th, you've got Jerry Brooks versus Christy Gore. So those are the races we're going to be looking at tomorrow night. It's going to be a very interesting night. All eyes are going to be on the governor's mansion. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
A native Georgia bulldog who bites back at big government. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Charlie Speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, so what are we all going to do tomorrow? We're going to get up. We're going to go vote. If you haven't voted before, you know what? This early voting thing. I was talking about my wife. Huh? What'd you say, JJ? Yeah, that was a pretty early, short early vote for the runoffs. Yeah, it was. But my wife and I early voted this past Thursday. And I'll be honest with you, it's a little anticlimactic. I mean, yeah, it's convenient, but I really like getting out there and voting on Election Day, the day that it's going to count, that all the votes are going to be counted. So I was like, we were at lunch today, and I was like, oh man, I've already voted. I wanted to go vote tomorrow. I would vote if you could vote once a week. I'd vote once a week. I would absolutely do that. So you need to get up tomorrow if you haven't already early voted. Get up tomorrow and go vote because this is going to matter. The governor's race, that's going to matter. You've got Pam Yvette, Alan Wilson, of course, Alan Wilson picking up just on Friday afternoon. He picked up Trump's co-endorsement, which he's never done before, and everybody's like, what in the world? A lot of people are like, oh, I can't believe Donald Trump did that. Why would he do it? Well, this is what he did. It was a little bit of retribution. I think it was retribution against Henry McMaster because Henry did not deliver. Oh, and President Trump, I got a little news for you here. Little news for you. Don't feel like the Lone Ranger. He hasn't delivered for the state of South Carolina either. So don't feel so bad when Henry McMaster doesn't do what Henry McMaster says he's going to do. Tell me how we're better. Literally, tell me how we're better. Was he in town today? I don't. Oh yeah, that's right. He was. Everybody. Man, he's giving out those. Order of the Palmetto. You think I'll ever get an Order of the Palmetto? You think I would? JJ's like, you are a very upstanding citizen. I am. Yes, I am. I don't know. We'll see. Joey got one. Dr. Orrin Smith got one. I'm going to be. Yeah, Joey Hudson got one. I'm not even. Yeah, you didn't know that? Joey Hudson got the Order of the Palmetto. Dr. Orrin Smith got the Order of the Palmetto. They're going to be in studio with me tomorrow night. So one of these things is not like the others. One of these things just doesn't belong. Yeah, I'm the one. I'll be the only person in here tomorrow night without an Order of the Palmetto on the air. So there you go. It's going to be an interesting night. But one of the races I'm going to be watching is the 1st Congressional District down there with Jenny Costa Honeycutt. Now, she wants you to say the Costa part because she's from the Costa family down in the Low Country, and they're big into politics down there. Very wealthy family. But there's a little thing about Jenny Costa Honeycutt. She's a little squishy. This is no joke. When a tough vote comes up, there in Charleston, she excuses herself to go to the bathroom. I'm not even joking about this. She excuses herself to go to the bathroom and then leaves and comes back when the vote's over. Unbelievable what this woman has done. She is going to be I'm going to make a prediction. If Jenny Costa Honeycutt wins that race in the 1st Congressional District, one of two things is going to happen. One of these two things are going to happen. She is going to lose that race to Nancy LaCour, or she is going to be one of the weakest members of Congress that the Republicans have. I'm going to go. You want to talk about a Freedom Index score? You watch that one. It's going to be a train wreck. You need to hope that Mark Smith wins that race. You need to hope he does. I hope everybody gets out there and votes. So Now, we'll see what happens. All right, WRD Talk Line, 800-9050-98. Now, because we need all the people supporting Donald Trump that we can get. Because Donald Trump, listen, believe it or not, he's having a tough time. Everything that he is doing is through executive order. We've got the Save America Act we can't even get past. I want you to listen to Senator Mike Lee talk about it.
Days or weeks can feel like months or years to United States senators who want to be doing other things. The truth is we haven't tried what I believe it takes to get the Save America Act passed, which is to put it on the floor and to say we're going to debate this for weeks. And we'll stay through weekends. We'll stay through previously scheduled recesses if necessary. But we're going to stay on this bill until it passes. Nothing sharpens the mind. Nothing hastens agreement. Nothing will bring about face-saving and perfecting amendments, quite like the obligation to stay in and debate something that is popular with the American people when filibustering senators trying to slow it down are becoming steadily less popular in their arguments.
Yes, exactly right. But John Thune will not do that because the Senate is packed. And even John Thune said that there were a lot of senators in Washington that aren't going to pass the Save America Act just because they don't like Donald Trump. Well, let's see who they are. Let's expose them. Do away with the Reid Amendment. Make these people stand up and debate this. If it takes weeks, so what? Who cares? Doesn't matter to me. I would rather you get this stuff done. I mean, you've already got just about everything funded. Everything's funded. Get out there, debate this bill, make the Democrats go on record, make the Republicans go on record, and then primary their butts when it comes up. I want these people exposed. So Mike Lee's absolutely right. Get out there, do away with the zombie filibuster, invoke the standing filibuster. Let's see what happens. That's all you got to do. That's a simple rule change, and you can make it. You can absolutely make it. But will they? Probably not. And we are hearing that President Trump is absolutely furious with what's going on in Washington. Furious with these Republican senators. Because remember, we can't blame the Democrats on this right now. We can't blame the Democrats. We can only point the fingers at the Republicans. Sounds like South Carolina. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Tough on issues, sharp with facts. It's the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Let your fingers do the talking.
Text the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line at 800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome back to the program. Well, one of the runoff elections you're going to be voting on tomorrow is over in the 8th District, and we're talking with one of the candidates now. Sherry Hodges is joining us. Sherry, welcome to the program. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good, Charlie. I'm almost done with this race.
Yeah,
so,
it's been a long election season. Listen, just give us a little pitch here. Why should people get out there and vote for you tomorrow?
Because I'm the one true conservative. I've been very active in Anderson County. As you know, I was a chair of the coalition to defeat the Anderson County sales tax, which we defeated 21 to 78%. My opponent told people to vote for it and supported it.
Yeah.
And I must be doing really well because he's pulling out all the stops and doing a lot of mudslinging. So, but I'm also active in my community as vice chair of the Anderson County Foster Care Review Board. I'm a mother and a grandmother. I have great concern for children, and our current representative has 3 times that I'm aware of voted against protecting women and children from transgender procedures. So that's what really got me in the race, the final. But, I'm a California refugee, and he likes to tell people I'm a liberal from California, which isn't logical. If I was liberal, I'd be very happy in California.
Yeah, exactly right. And I find that to be kind of rich from somebody with a 35 Freedom Index score.
That's right. He's got a really bad score, and he's got a horrible voting record. And, I may be running against one man, but I'm running against the good old boys. And it's time for, we got to protect South Carolina. Where do you go from here? And also the values. One of the things I love, besides the beauty of it here, is the values of the people of South Carolina. Mm-hmm. And it's not higher taxes, and it's not allowing men and girls bathrooms, and defending a lot of the other procedures, and growing government. He's been voting to grow government. Our state government's grown by 45% in the last 3 years. And I can tell you, coming from California, I know what happens when you do that. When a recession hits, then they're going to tell us we need to pay more to keep all this government agency stuff going. So we've just really, what took down California is the land of Ronald Reagan is what's happening here. People who ran for office claimed to be conservative Republican and voted as liberals, and they voted for tax increases and a lot of regulations and bigger government, and life became very hard. And that's how people got to know me, as I started speaking out against it, because I saw what was happening, and I'm like, oh no, can't happen here, just can't. And tomorrow is the day to get out and vote and to really elect somebody who's going to stand and vote with the conservatives, the Freedom Caucus. And, the Freedom Caucus did amazing work with that Department of Transportation bill that Don Chapman was out pushing all over our state with 12 other legislators, telling counties that they could raise sales tax and property tax to pay for the roads. Yeah. And, it's just like, no, we're growing so fast in the upstate and in the entire state. That means so is the revenue. These people come with vehicles. They're working, they're paying income tax. The revenue is increasing, and we have $1 billion surplus this year. And did it come back to the voters? No. Nope.
No. Of course, they just voted to spend it more. I mean, Don Chapman, he voted to give Volkswagen, Scout Motors, the $1.2 billion, and many, many others. I mean, like I said, 35 Freedom Index score, that's not very good in my book. And if we want things to change in Columbia, we got to change the people that we send.
Amen. That's right.
So, well, Sherry, tomorrow's going to be a big, big day. I know you're going to be watching all of this. So best of luck to you. Is there anything else you want to leave the voters with right now?
It's get out the vote. Get out and vote. If you really want a conservative to represent you in Anderson County. And here's the thing. When I get elected, Anderson County will have a conservative majority. Right now it's 3-3.
Yeah.
If you want a conservative majority who will really protect your money, bring money home, get our roads fixed instead of ignored, instead of money going to developers, where developers should be doing their own roads.
Yeah.
If you want to protect your children, then elect a mother, a grandmother, and somebody who loves the values and the people of South Carolina.
There you go. All right, Sherry Hodges, y'all get out there and vote. I appreciate it, Sherry. Best of luck to you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. So, I mean, this guy, he voted. Well, there was a motion about non-citizen voter registration. He voted to table that bill that would prohibit non-citizen voter registration. He voted yes on the health czar bill. Remember the health czar bill that we lobbied against here on the program? He voted for that. Corporate welfare. I mean, it's amazing that somebody can run as a conservative, and once they get to Columbia, they don't act like it. And I'll say it again. If you want things to change in Columbia, you got to change the people that you send, or nothing is going to happen. Well, I won't say nothing. Something's going to happen. They're going to keep spending your money like crazy, like drunken sailors. I still can't get over the fact that they voted for and the governor signed off on $330 million worth of earmarks. And I've run them down for you. I mean, you had the orangutan enclosure. I think that was like $3 million. You had the home, literally a home for tired artists to go rest in. I mean, and the list goes on and on and on. We're paying in this state for a lesbian podcast. A gummy bear museum. I mean, it's ridiculous. Stop spending our money on stupid stuff. Get back to the core functions of government. Meanwhile, you're driving on crappy roads. I was talking to a friend of mine, and we got to do something. We got to do something about the development. I had a friend of mine say, I can't remember where he said it was, but he said he was out somewhere here in the Upstate, of course. And he's like, Charlie, they're building this development, and there are houses as far as the eye can see. And all of these neighborhoods are being fed by 1 2-lane road, and it's crappy. So, I mean, again, we want to keep things and you got to admit, we've got it good here in South Carolina as far as, the beauty and the people. But it's getting worse. And if we don't do something to control it, it's going to continue to get worse. And guess who they're going to be coming to try to fix it when it's too late? Well, that's you and me. I'm tired of them wasting our money. We got to get the money wasters out of there. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour, every afternoon on the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Text or call. One number does it all.
800-905-0989.
This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
Well, Bernie Sanders is at it again. Oh, they're not taking enough money. So Sanders wants to take more.
All of that and more would be paid for by a 5% annual tax on the wealth of billionaires. Nobody with less than $1 billion in wealth would pay a nickel more in taxes. My critics claim that this legislation is punitive. It's confiscatory. We're picking on these terrible billionaires. And here is the irony, for better or for worse. If this legislation would pass tomorrow, Elon Musk would pay $39 billion more in taxes, leaving him, I know this is tough for Elon, with just $737 billion in which to survive. I know, hey, you know what the price of gas is right now? You know what food is? Guy has $737 billion.
I got an idea. Why don't you do away with the gas tax? Why don't you do that? Listen to me. It will never be enough for these socialists. Forget the whole Democrat socialist thing. That's not even a thing. They're just socialist. James Tallarico in Texas, just a socialist. There's no such thing as Democrat socialist of America. They are just socialists. In fact, it is there since our founding, July 4th, 1776. There's never been a better time in American history to be a socialist. This is it. In New York, they have got 5 socialists. Chuck Park in the 6th. Claire Valdez in the 7th. Brad Lander in the 10th. Daraliza Avala Chevalier in the 13th. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in the 14th. Daraliza Avalia Chevalier. I want you to listen to what this woman said. I mean, this is pretty amazing. Here she goes.
So are we ready to free Palestine? Are we ready to abolish ICE? Are we ready to win Medicare for all, housing for all, and unions for all? I know that's right.
I know that. Well, I'm sorry. I apologize. That was actually Claire Valdez. So this one woman, Chevalier, she says that there should be no prisons. Yeah, listen to this, even for murderers. Even for murderers. There should be no prisons, no prison time. We should find, I don't know how well. I really don't understand how these people think, or if they even do think. Because she says prison is bad. Prison is bad. That is nuts. It is nuts. But like I said, there has never been a better time for socialists here in America. That's pretty amazing. And you know what? There's a good chance each and every, well, look at Mondani. He won. That's unbelievable. There's a good chance that all these people win. Now, I heard some people today talk about, oh, no, this would push the Democrat Party too far to the left. What? What are you even talking about? This is their moment. Why don't you listen to this from Fox News? Here we go.
But in places like New York, where they're trying to just flip establishment Democrats, policies like this. Here's Daria Avila Chevalier's policies: abolish ICE, anti-deportation, Medicare for all. Okay, that's a basic democratic principle. Universal basic income, very controversial. Anti-Israel, anti-military aid, opposes prison for murderers. Here's her position on deportations: I'm not okay with any deportation. I think all deportation is wrong because I think it's an incredibly cruel punishment that is really only relegated to people on the basis of where they were born. And, I think that we should just not have a system that allows deportation to happen at all, including people who have been convicted of crime.
Unbelievable. And you know what? Good chance she wins. Good chance she wins. So socialism is never more than a generation away. And I think now, June 2026, we might only be half a generation away. That's pretty scary. WORD talk line, 800-9050-989. That's also the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. I want to know what you think about it. We'll take a break and be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hitting truth bombs longer than he drives off the tee. It's the Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Hey, Charlie.
Let's talk.
It's the right talk. Charlie. Welcome. This is the Charlie James Show.
Now we're talking.
News Talk 98.9.
WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome back to the program as we get ready. We're just 13 hours away from the polls. Oh, yes. We're going to start counting down at 13 hours. You're exactly right. That's what we're going to do. So let's talk with State Representative April Cromer is joining us right now. April, welcome to the program. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Charlie, I'm great. I'll be doing much better tomorrow after these runoffs.
I'm telling you what.
Hopefully the right results.
It's been a crazy election season. Now, you have endorsed Alan Wilson and Mike Rickenbaugh as governor and lieutenant governor, right?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
That's going to be. What did you think when you heard that the president had come out with a co-endorsement?
Well, I think in our state, it seems I don't always agree with Trump's endorsements. I don't know who is advising him, but I don't know that he knows the exact record of who he's supporting. So maybe he realized that somebody sold him the book of goods on the first endorsement, and that is why he changed his mind.
Yeah, maybe so. We got another race coming on over in the 8th. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's another race that Trump has endorsed. But one of the more liberal Republicans in the state house, Don Chapman, is being challenged by Sherry Hodges. And, you know, he's one of those that campaigns one way in his district, and I see him acting a completely different way in Columbia, which we have Republicans all across the state, and they claim, oh, well, you know, we have to represent differently in our part of the state. Well, I mean, I am all for the Republican platform, but if that's what you want to use, just be honest with your constituents.
Yeah.
And what's frustrating to me is I've seen him work against conservative values and then come in his district and act like just the superior great guy when, you know, he voted himself a pay raise in the last budget. He voted to increase income taxes on families who earn from $150,000 to $350,000. And he defended the vampire man that was used in the bathroom at Tri-County Technical College. It's on and on and on and on, lies and lies and lies that he comes back and tells my neighbors, you know, because our districts butt up to one another. My family members live in his district.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that people will see the truth and really look beyond what he's saying. And, you know, his projection onto the Sherry Hodges is his voting record. He says all these bad things about her, but it's him. It's just projection. It's the Democrat playbook.
So can you just briefly describe the vampire? It's self-titled The Vampire Queen, but this is a guy that is I mean, obviously a trans, right?
Yes, he thinks he's a woman and he's a vampire. He's married to a woman and he has children.
Okay.
Yes, and he was using the bathroom at Tri-County Tech with girls probably 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. The girls were terrified.
Yeah.
And were afraid to speak up. So a mother called to let them know this was happening. And Tri-County Tech said, well, it's not against our policy. So if anything happens, please let us know.
Wow.
Meaning, like, if your daughter is sexually assaulted or abused, then maybe we'll address the issue.
Yeah.
But it's terrifying to tell these young women to be quiet and don't speak up. That's the worst thing.
It is the worst thing. And I remember that we had Lee Bright that tried to get the bathroom bill here in South Carolina, and that got shot down by Nikki Haley. When are we going to get that straightened out, April?
Well, we finally got legislation signed into law, but hopefully the enforcement mechanism will be held. You know, we can pass all great legislation, but if it's not being enforced. So it was higher ed actually tried to kill the bill and remove higher education from the bill. And Tri-County Tech, they actually campaigned against me in my campaign because they were just so upset of all the attention that they received.
Well, they
should
be ashamed because they brought the attention on themselves.
That's right. And, you know, the former Ways and Means Chairman, Dan Cooper, works for Tri-County Tech, so he should understand how all of this works. But it's
Yeah.
all about deception. It's terrible.
It really is. If you're not gonna follow the law, that's pretty amazing. And you say that Don Chapman defended the Vampire Queen?
Yes, so when this happened, we didn't have legislation that had passed yet preventing men and women's private spaces. So I put their budget to $1, and just to make them do the right thing and implement the correct policy to keep men out of our spaces. And he could have just voted no, quietly went along the night, but he argued with me against it because, you know, he has a lot of friends there in the establishment of Tri-County Tech.
Yeah.
And he was trying to protect them and the institution instead of protecting our girls and making sure the right people are in place running these institutions that we trust our children with.
I guess it's all about priorities, right?
It certainly is.
Yeah.
And his, you know, true colors are showing more and more. But he brings back money to the districts with the pork and the earmarks.
Yeah.
You know, the
Of course.
currency
Everybody
of
loves that.
corruption.
Yeah, and that's amazing. April Cromer, always a pleasure, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Charlie.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. So, yeah, that's amazing. It really is. Now, Cow Sheep Politics has just come out, and this was about 45 minutes ago. All right, you ready? Cow Sheep Politics is now saying that Alan Wilson has a 98% chance of winning this race against Pamela Vett. 98%. That's pretty significant. That's extremely significant from Cow Sheep Politics. So we will see what happens with that coming up tomorrow. Again, polls open at 7. Want you to make sure if you haven't voted, get out there and vote. I would love for this to be a really good voter turnout tomorrow. It's not going to take long. Just show up, get it done, because we can have a lot of things change or nothing really changes. And the worst thing that can happen for South Carolina right now is for nothing to change. So get out there and vote. WRD Talk Line, 800-9050-989. That's also the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. Charlie, my wife got the absentee ballot on Saturday afternoon. Hope it gets there by Tuesday. I do too. Let's see here. A couple of other texts. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Voting starts tomorrow. Don't forget, Joey Hudson and I will be joined by Dr. Orrin Smith tomorrow evening, 7 to 9, as we bring you your election returns. They'll be it's a little slow at first, but then they'll start coming in pretty quickly, so you don't want to miss out on that. We will know something by tomorrow night, I guarantee it. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Honest views, trusted news. This is the Charlie James Show
On News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
speaks. You listen on your time. Get the show on demand. Text podcast to 800-905-0989. The Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the phones and talk to Eric in Pickens. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing pretty good, Charlie.
All right.
You and I have gotten into it over the years. I don't vote early. I never vote early. I'm always the day of guy.
Right.
And doggone it, you know what I did Wednesday? I went out and I voted early. I had to make sure my vote went in for Alan Wilson.
There you go. You see, that's just the thing. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. You never, if you got a chance, go vote. I'm glad you went out there and voted, Eric. I really am.
I took my whole family with me to go vote, and we all made sure that we put our votes in for Alan Wilson and David Stumbo and Danny Ford.
There you go. All right, sounds good. I appreciate it, Eric. Thank you, buddy. So there you go. So good. But again, I voted on Thursday. So tomorrow I'm going to be like, man, I wish I were voting. I've already voted. It's like eating your dessert first. You go, man, I wish I had that dessert. So anyway, they're going to be voting for this guy, James Tallarico, to be the next senator from the state of Texas. And he's released a brand new video.
Too many Texans feel like they're drowning. The cost of groceries, gas, healthcare. I'm James Tallarico. In the State House, I brought both parties together to make life more affordable, capping the cost of insulin, cutting taxes for small businesses, and passing the largest property tax cut in Texas history. In the Senate, I'll take on corruption and keep fighting to lower your costs. I approve this message because it shouldn't be this hard to keep your head above water.
Yeah, this guy is literally acting like he's the Lone Ranger. Like he did all of that. No, I mean, you voted with the people that actually came up with those ideas. But here's the thing. Did you vote, good sir, James Tallarico, the guy that said God is non-binary, the guy that said that the Virgin Mary consented to carry Jesus. Anyway, he's a fake preacher. Do you know what he does for a living? You know what he does for? It's likely he's a preacher, right? He says he's a preacher. But you know what his other job is? James Tallarico is a DEI consultant. Oh, yeah, a DEI consultant. And they just found out over the weekend that James Tallarico has one bank account. That's it, one bank account. And he shares that bank account with his mother. I'm not even joking about that. He shares a banking account. This is supposedly a grown man. He's a member of the Texas State Legislature, and he shares a banking account with his mother. Mom, my debit card doesn't work. What's the PIN number? You got to help me out here. Speaking of money, do you remember when Ilhan Omar said that she had all of these millions of dollars? And this hasn't been that long ago. She reported $30 million in net worth. $30 million. And then everybody was like, wait, hold on. How do you have $30 million? So they started looking over this report, and her husband has this consulting firm that consults no one, and they owned a winery that produced no wine. No joke. Well, now, and listen, that was fraud. All of that was fraud. Everything about that was her husband is fraudulent. His business is fraudulent. The winery was fraudulent. She is a fraud. So now Ilhan Omar is listing her assets between $20,000 and $125,000. That's a huge difference. $125,000 and $30 million. She said a new filing, a new filing has listed her assets between $20,000 and $125,000. Big difference. MyNet's net worth is the most staggering part of this, though, with a reported income between $200,000 and $1,000. Despite that low income, MyNet's net company, Rose Lake Capital, reported an income between $100,000 and $1 million. His defunct wine-based company reported around $5,000 in income last year, and the latest filing will no doubt add further scrutiny to Omar, with Republicans continuing to push for an investigation into her private holdings. An RNC spokesman told the New York Post voters see right through the corrupt lies of Ilhan Omar. Omar spent her entire career covering up Democrats-enabled fraud and cost taxpayers billions, so it's no surprise that she would do the same for her husband. Omar's income controversy has only drawn further scrutiny, though, into all of those fraud allegations across their home state of Minnesota. She's a fraud. She is a fraud. She could be the poster child for Somalian fraud. I don't, is it just the culture? Is it just the culture? Maybe so. She got caught reporting with her husband's net worth going from $30 million to under $100,000 in a new report. She needs to be expelled from the house. Needs to be expelled. But then again, you wonder, where does she get all that money? Well, it's corruption. It's just absolute corruption. Oh, listen to this. This is over on Fox News. Here we go.
Let's go back to May 2025. The original financial disclosure claimed assets up to $30 million, a $5 million winery, a venture capital firm worth $25 million, earnings $15,000 from the winery, zero from the venture capital firm. Then there was an amended financial disclosure filed in March of this year. The assets were wiped out, basically, from the winery and the venture capital firm. But suddenly, look at this, there's $1 million income from the venture capital firm. And then this newly amended financial disclosure filed back in May the 13th of 2026, the winery and the venture capital firm continue to be zeroed out in terms of assets. The venture capital income suddenly went from $1 million to zero, and the winery became reduced to as little as $200 for the year.
Wait, when is somebody... Literally, if she weren't a Democrat, if she was not a Democrat, there would be an ethics investigation going on right now. I don't know what the Republicans are. In fact, I think I can't remember which one. Can't remember which Republican. It might have been John Cornyn. Might have been John Cornyn in Texas that voted against holding Ilhan Omar up for an ethics investigation. They need to do that. Not only do they need to look into these business owners, they need to look into literally, legitimately, seriously, whether or not she married her brother to get into the United States. Because I'm, for one, with all of this that I'm seeing, that's not a far-fetched story. It's really not. This woman is a fraud, and it just seems like wherever the Somalians are operating, there is a lot of it. Just look at Minnesota. They are the capital of Somalian fraud here in America. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Streaming stimulating talk and breaking news on your phone 24/7 on the Odyssey app. You're on the drive with the Charlie James Show.
News Talk 98.9 WORD,
the voice of the Carolinas.
Did you enjoy your stay in the U.S.?
Yes.
Tap and type your message on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line.
800-905-0989. This is the Charlie James Show on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, let's go to the phones. We're going to talk to Dee in Thomasee. How you doing, Dee?
I'm doing great. Charlie, how are you,
I'm
brother?
fantastic, buddy. What's going on with you?
Listen, I'll keep this short and sweet. You had brought up earlier the awarding of the order of the Palmetto.
Yeah.
Charlie, brother, you know why you didn't receive that.
You think I might have blown my chance with Henry McMaster to get the Order of the Palmetto?
Well, exactly what my point,
Yeah.
Because you're not in the back pocket of the McMaster Abbott necessarily, and I know you're impartial and try to be, and I respect that and appreciate that, and I'll just say, I'd have to throw into that mix Drew McKissick also, and the other establishment participants there in Columbia. But I appreciate everything that you do day by day.
Well, I appreciate that, Dee. Thank you very, very
So
much.
much.
We just, you know what? Everybody wants me to be honest until I'm honest about them, and then they don't like it. But we're going to keep on doing it. I appreciate it, Dee. However, I have to say this. I did recently get notification that I have received an award from Henry McMaster's office. I want to read to you what this says. It says, the office of Governor Henry McMaster, State of South Carolina. To all of those present, greetings. By virtue of the authority vested in me as the governor of the great state of South Carolina, it is hereby ordered that Charlie James is bestowed the Order of the Palmetto Bug for his criticism of the governor's office. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is the inaugural Order of the Palmetto Bug bestowed to me by Henry McMaster. Thank you so much, Governor. I do appreciate that. That is just, that is so wonderful of you to do that. Let's go to Larry in Cleveland County. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing great, sir. Hey, I just got to charm in on that Omar. She should be in prison.
Oh, yeah.
Not out of the house. She should be in prison. If you did half the things she did, where would you be, Charlie?
I'd be in jail. I'm in jail big time. So wait a minute. So here's the thing, though, Larry. If she's making these mistakes on her financial records in Congress, what do her tax returns look like?
Zero. She's not making nothing.
Yeah.
She's stealing everybody. She's stealing everybody. But if you make one penny wrong on yours,
oh my goodness,
guess what? They're going to audit you or audit your station and all your connections.
Yep.
But thanks for taking my call. I love you.
I appreciate it, Larry. Love you right back, man. All right, WRD Talk Line, 800-9050-989. It is called the FIFA 15. You know, we got the World Cup going on, and we got people from all over the planet in this country right now. We got the Scottish, we've got the English, we've got the Japanese are here. I mean, everybody is here for the World Cup, for the FIFA World Cup. And when they've gotten here, and the number one thing they've been doing is eating. They've been eating hard in this country. So they're calling it now the FIFA 15. And in fact, some people, I want you to listen to this. This is from Washington Times. Seeing the U.S. through the eyes of international tourists visiting the World Cup has given locals who may take the more singular aspect of American culture for granted in a new perspective. Here are a few of the latest testimonials from awestruck soccer fans discovering America. The Swedish Cowboy. Sweden played its second group stage match against the Netherlands on Saturday, causing thousands of Swedish supporters to descend on Houston for the festivities. One fan in a Sweden jersey impressed onlookers, including a TV crew, with his cowboy hat. He's out there walking around in cowboy. They're going to Buc-ee's. They're going to Buc-ee's to eat. The Scottish emergency room visit. The American healthcare system is often mocked by the Europeans who boast about their high-ranking hospitals and taxpayer-funded systems. But as Scotland's tartan army of soccer fans took New England by storm, one visitor said he was impressed by a visit to the emergency room. He said it was a tremendous experience. He said, it was a tremendous experience. Scottish video creator Sean Alexander said on social media, the staff at this place were phenomenal, so nice and kind, and so... Did you know what they did in Boston? They literally drank pubs dry in Boston. And Boston, that's it. We got no more beer for you. But maybe the biggest thing has been something that I didn't think would even be an issue. Ranch dressing. Ranch dressing. They have fallen in love with ranch dressing. I want you to listen to this. There's a Swedish woman that she came here. She was for FIFA. She finally discovered ranch dressing. Listen to this.
Swedish woman named Elsa who discovered ranch dressing. And she's like, why did no one tell me ranch sauce is like crack? Europe, we need ranch ASAP. This is where it starts, Elsa. Ranch is the gateway drug to American culture. First it's ranch, then it's Buc-ee's, then you're marrying a guy with a pickup truck, a gun, and a boat for weekends at the lake. A simple man who owns an HVAC servicing franchise. Free AC for the rest of your life, Elsa. It's not a bad deal. Elsa later posted, currently flying over the mountains of Colorado with faster Wi-Fi than I have at home. What are we doing wrong in Europe? The USA has completely radicalized me within 48 hours. America! Yeah! That's because we innovate, Elsa. The last thing you guys invented was the printing press. No, I'm just kidding. It was World War. No, I'm just kidding. The last thing Europe invented was America. And then we set ourselves free.
Exactly right. Exactly right. In fact, it's so bad that people that are flying back to Europe, the TSA has had to come out with a warning. Not even joking about this. TSA is warning people, do not carry ranch dressing in your carry-on bag. It has to be in your checked baggage. That's how much these people have absolutely fallen in love with our ranch dressing here in America, so much so they're calling it the FIFA 15, putting on about 15 pounds on your vacation here. Let's go to Robert in Mills River. What's going on, Robert?
Not much today, Charlie. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. What's going on?
Did you
What's
have
happening?
a good Father's Day weekend?
It was, you know what? I don't even know why I look forward to the weekends anymore. I work harder on the weekends than I do during the week. But yeah, I had a good
bet you
weekend.
do.
Had a good weekend.
But okay, all I want to talk about today is them bicyclists that you was talking about earlier in the show.
Right.
I used to ride a bike everywhere here. I would not get on the highway today, Charlie.
No.
riding my bicycle.
I
Or on these
see
little
that
back
all the
roads.
time.
When I was a kid, I could get out there and ride anywhere, but I wouldn't get out on these roads riding, and much less letting you yield to a stop sign.
Yeah.
That there's going to get a bunch of people killed. And, I mean, ever who proposed this little old deal and thought they ought to be working on things that really matter in the
Exactly.
world. Instead of these two-doors ATV,
Yeah.
They ought to be working on things that really matter to the people who voted their butts in there.
You're
and
right.
Alan Wilson, he told a long time ago on your show, Charlie, he said he would come on your show from time to time if he become governor.
He said
And
any time.
I'm going to hold him to it.
I am too.
I believe I wish he would run. I mean, I wish he was my governor here in
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Yeah, you guys got a long road to hoe up there in North
Man,
Carolina.
It is awful, ain't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
I'll
All right,
talk to you
Robbie,
later,
be
Charlie.
good, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, our state legislature passed a bill that said that bicyclists do not have to stop at stop signs. They can treat them as yield signs, and that side-by-sides can now be driven on the roads with certain requirements. We'll be right back. It's the Charlie James Show. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
15 minutes of breaking news and stimulating talk begins every hour on The Charlie James Show. Afternoons 3 to 7 on News Talk 98.9.
WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
And what we saw
Chat with Charlie.
800-905-0989. Save it on your phone.
This is the Charlie James Show, only on News Talk 98.9 WORD.
The voice of the Carolinas.
All right, welcome back to the program on your Monday evening. Let's go to Richard in Dallas. What's going on, man?
Well, Charlie, there's a lot I'd like to talk about, but we're short on time.
All right.
Ilhan Omar. I don't know why we talk about people like that and old Fauci, because nothing's going to happen to them, Charlie.
Yeah,
it
I
takes
know.
a Republican to go after them, and for some reason or other, they just don't have the word. You understand? And
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to get away with it. I don't care how crooked she is. The American people would love to see something done to people like that, but it's up to our politicians, and they're going to protect them, Charlie. I really believe that. Even the Republicans, I think, will stand up for her. It's just
And they do a lot. They do a lot.
It's terrible, Charlie. It's
It
terrible.
really is. You're
I'll
right.
talk to you later,
I appreciate it, Richard. Thank you. I want you to listen to this. This is Whoopi Goldberg. You know, we got the reflecting pool in Washington at the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Memorial. So Trump's trying to clean this thing up because it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. So they went in, put a new liner, did all of the lining paint and all of that stuff, and they filled it up with water. And then all of a sudden they started noticing all of this algae growing. And they're like, what the heck? We got that taken care of. And then they noticed that the liner was peeling away. And they're like, what, are you kidding me? Come to find out, it was vandalism. These people are actually going to the reflecting pool, and they're pouring live algae blooms into the water. Listen to what Whoopi Goldberg says. This woman is unhinged.
But he is claiming that vandals are to blame. He says they illegally placed chemicals in the water and left a 300-foot gash in the pool. Now, 5 people are said to have been arrested. He says a 10-year prison sentence will be strictly enforced. Oh. Well, if he's saying he's going to jail for 10 years, I'm going to let him go. Because, I mean, it seems to me that had he not messed with the pool, you know, it would still be a reflecting pool instead of a liquid jungle.
Which is exactly what it was before. They've got video. I mean, it's not like these people just were arrested on suspicion. They got them. They caught them. That's exactly what was happening. They were vandalizing because why? They don't want Donald Trump to be successful in anything, even something that makes their city more beautiful. So I really don't understand why these people have chosen this hill to die on. It seems to me like that, of all the crazy things that you can do, that's probably the craziest. That is absolutely nuts. But that's them. I mean, they're out there. They're chanting for the algae. Oh, yes, they are. They're chanting for the algae.
Let's go, algae, let's go. Let's go, algae, let's go. Let's go, algae, let's go.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yay, algae. Yay, algae. All right, so there you go. All right, tomorrow we're almost at 12 hours away from the polls opening and the runoff elections tomorrow. Yep, we're going to be talking about those tomorrow. We'll talk with David Stumbo tomorrow afternoon. That's when we'll see you again. Y'all have a lovely, lovely evening. As always, God bless. Buckle up.